What are some examples of movie logic that don't work in real life? Whenever someone is in a spacesuit, there are always lights inside the helmet to illuminate the person's face. This is, of course, so we know which character we're looking at. But in real life, having lights inside your helmet shining on your face would greatly hinder your ability to see your surroundings. It's like having the light on in your bedroom while trying to see outside in the dark. Movie spacesuit helmets have way more glass in them. Every window in Paris always overlooks the Eiffel Tower. How else are we supposed to know it's Paris? By listening to the same Paris accordion tune, of course. People jumping through windows, breaking them and landing on the shards but not getting a scratch. I've accidentally tumbled through a glass door and found myself unscathed. Could I replicate it? Not in a million attempts. Okay. We need to hack into the Department of Defense mainframe. How long should that take? 12 hours. You have 30 seconds. Hit 3 keys. We're in. When the pressure in an engine becomes so high that the gauge itself breaks. Grand romantic gestures don't convince someone who's on the fence about you that you're worth it. Just that you're probably a nutcase. Learned this the hard way. RIP to my backyard fence. Shooting a monitor to destroy a computer's hard drive. Breaking a flip phone in half to dispose of the evidence on it. Did you want to go to dinner tomorrow? Sure. I'll see you then. See you when ? At dinner time. In that scene where the good guy gets completely surrounded by bad guys with guns. I understand the principle. But if those guys actually opened fire, they'd just end up shooting each other in the face. Fields of fire, people. Technically speaking, if the person being trapped doesn't care if they live or die, then reacting violently to get them to shoot at you would be the best way to take as many of them with you as possible. Let them shoot each other. People in entry-level positions having nice, spacious, roommate-free apartments in places like Nick. Also every episode of House Hunters I've ever seen. I sell drawings of handicapped butterflies out of my garage and my husband is a part-time volunteer napkin folder. Our budget is $3.6 million. Craig and Starcher are looking for a 2-story A-frame that's near Craig's job downtown, but also satisfies Starcher's need to be near the beach, which is nowhere near Craig's job. With 3 children and 9 on the way, and a max budget of $7. Let's see what this realtor can do. Trying to convince a retired guy to do one more job. I'm too old for this sheet. Knocking people out. In the movies it's a quick smack to the noggin and that person is out cold for a few minutes, hours. In real life, depending on how hard you hit someone, they can be out for a second or 2. Any longer and there will be significant brain damage. Knocking them out for several hours. Well, they're probably dead. If someone in a movie starts coughing, they are about to die. Yeah. Pack of smokes to the clerk. You actually have to specify a brand. 1 beer please. I don't know how it is in America, but here in Belgium that's actually the standard procedure. It means you want whatever pilsner they have on tap. Turning on the news radio at the most convenient time for the plot. Or when someone calls and says turn on the TV now and they do just in time to see the notable news story. If the person calling saw the story, then it's too late for the one who wasn't watching. This can only be excused when it's a huge emergency situation. Then the news is on it all the time, rehashing the same tired information. Finding an easy parking spot next to the building you're going to. Usually out in front. My husband and I call those spots TV parking. Cutting my own hair in a gas station bathroom while I'm on the run, and when I leave it's salon fabulous. That sheet would itch so bad. Hair down the shirt. Hair slivers suck as. Just no. Or they color it in the bathroom without making a mess or staining their skin. Lol. Classes in high school lasting only 5 minutes. And the breaks between classes are a leisurely half hour. You know. My niece's school have something called passing period where they essentially have 10-15 minutes or so to go to the bathroom, get something to drink, big dig around, and get to their next class. The first time I heard that I was dumbfounded. IDK how many times I was late to class for going to pee or having to stop at my locker. I'd just load my books for the day in my backpack and haul them around with me. And they don't even have books anymore. I just made myself feel old. If you are shy, you can change your hairdo and outfit and immediately become extroverted. Or, if you are frumpy and ugly, just take off your glasses and let down your hair. Instant beauty queen. Stopping in the middle of a giant battle with people dying all around you to kiss a loved one. Or hug or high five a fellow mate. Sitting in the backseat of a car and casually reaching forward to snap the neck of the person in the driver's seat. It does next to nothing if you do it like they do in movies, and it makes for a very awkward ride home. All neck breaking in general. If it were that easy to heal someone by jerking their neck, all paralyzed people would just be dead. Police have to account for every bullet fired. Sheer amount of paperwork behind the scenes in most crime and police thriller movies would be unreal. They go over this in Hot Fuzz. The new cop constantly wants to be a part of a shootout. But the experienced cop has to keep telling him how that would be paperwork hell. And when the inevitable shootout happens, we see the main characters doing paperwork. Like 99% of car jumps are phony. Most cars would destroy the suspension or at least blow out the tires. I just said we'd make it across. I didn't say anything about the wheels staying on. If it was easy, it wouldn't be a shortcut. It would just be the way. Giving birth to super clean babies that look several months old. And there's no afterbirth. When my wife first got pregnant, I expected the birth to be just like in the movies. The woman's water will break and they have 5 minutes to get to the hospital, and she gives birth screaming as soon as they are in the delivery room. In reality, her water breaks and she took a shower. We casually drive to the hospital. Then it's about a 12-hour wait before any action happens. No screaming. No swearing at the husband. Much different from the movies. I'm sure some births happen like they do in the movies, but not many. When they show what is supposed to be a sloppy teenage rock band playing and yet everything is perfect. The drummer's keeping excellent time. The vocals and background vocals are spot on. And the guitarist is nailing perfect bends and playing at Satriani levels. The gun that never runs out of bullets. Alternatively, bad guy's gum jams just as he is about to shoot the good guy. Always and never a normal jam like a misfeed or a stovepipe or a bad ejection, but the firing pin clicks and the primer just doesn't light off. Haha. Walking away from an explosion. Surviving a blast as long as you don't get hit by the fireball. Someone needs to explain to Hollywood how a grenade kills people. It drives me nuts every time a movie has a scene where a person is hiding on the ceiling a few feet above someone else and they never see them. Just because the camera is angled so the audience can't see them doesn't mean a real person wouldn't notice Tom Cruise hanging from their ceiling fan. Firing up a vehicle that's been sitting for years just by adding some gas that's also been sitting for years. Jurassic World. Apparently all a Jeep abandoned in the jungle for 20 years needs to run again as a golf cart battery. Last minute airport dashes. Flying airplanes and helicopters extremely low to the ground. There's absolutely no reason to fly a helicopter between buildings during a car chase. There is absolutely no reason to fly an airplane 200 feet above the ground when they can effectively drop bombs from miles in the air. Or having to be anywhere near the target to fire missiles. Like seriously. Those missiles have a range in miles. Godzilla would never even see the damn plane. People holding their breath underwater for ungodly amounts of time. Non-main character, I can't do it, I won't be able to hold my breath that long. Main character, yeah you can. Both proceed to hold their breath for like 10 minutes. Worse. While underwater the same person has 20/20 vision. The main character is an absolute beast in fights with common mercenaries, then suddenly loses all of their muscles in the final battle and it takes 50x longer than it should. That's not how fights work. Also, a group of 10 common mercenaries attacking one at a time for maximum convenience. People who work in retail or as a waiter waitress just saying cover me to their coworker and leaving in the middle of a shift to go take care of a personal matter. Catch a med error. etc. You can't just tell a waitress to cover twice as many tables like that. It won't work. And you won't work either. Cause you'll get fired. Quickly kissing a girl as a surprise. Don't do that. When someone walks up to a character having a conversation and tells the other person, "Could you give us a minute?" and the other person walks away like it wasn't rude as duck. Could we have a moment in private? Entire room full of 20 odd people clear out to leave the two people alone. Yeah, duck off. Why don't you two just go? CPR equals necromancy. Edit. Thanks for the gold. Kind stranger. Also, shocking doesn't fix a flat line. It induces one when there is a problem with a heartbeat. It's the equivalent of turn it off. Turn it back on.